slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hey team, there's a lot of running myths out there, and I wanted to debunk 5 of the biggest running myths that are out there. One of the biggest myths is running is bad for your knees, okay? So I'll say that a lot of runners, and I'm an example of that, do have problems with knee issues, okay? When I was in college, cartilage kept breaking off my knees, okay? Now, I've been around athletes that have had no knee issues whatsoever from running, okay? So there's plenty of good ways to hurt your knees. Skiing, mixed martial arts, climbing, these, other types. Hiking, you can just twist your leg in a wrong spot or trip over something and hurt your knees that way. But running really doesn't make that list, at least not if you're worried about long-term health and arthritis. Runners are at some risk of knee overuse injuries, such as myself, like tendonitis, runner's knee. But there was a 2013 study that found that runners had a significantly lower chance of needing knee or hip replacement surgery than non-runners. Okay? And the reason behind that, in terms of the sports medicine research that's out there, is they say that regular loading of the knee joint keeps the cartilage there healthy. And again, in my case, at least when I was in college, that wasn't the case. But fortunately, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with my knees ever since 1998. I had 2 surgeries on my left knee and 1 on my right knee. They were orthoscopic knee surgeries, so they just had to go in and get some loose bodies. And again, you can even still run with loose bodies as long as they don't move in the wrong area of your knee. Sometimes they would go behind my knee and I wouldn't feel them as much, but sometimes they would go below my patellar tendon and lock up my knee. Okay, so, but again, these are rare cases. It's not. These are just specific cases to some runners. So, and most runners are more likely to have lower body weight, which is also a factor that closely relates to knee and hip arthritis. So again, you want to stay healthy, but you don't want to, you want to minimize any of that unwanted fat that you don't really need. But again, running is good for your knees. It does strengthen the cartilage for most runners. So that's one myth I wanted to debunk, okay? Bonking is bad, okay? It's never fun. If you've ever been in a marathon and you hit the so-called wall, definitely that is not a feeling you want to have. But when done occasionally, okay, with plenty of recovery afterward, many coaches around the world argue that letting your body run out of fuel can improve running marathon performance. So, a lot of these long runs, and I've done this myself, where I just really focusing on teaching my body to burn fat, okay? And once you run out of carbohydrates, you'll definitely feel the pain, okay? In order to finish marathon on pace, you do want to train your body to burn fuel more effectively, more efficiently. Bonking during a training run teaches your body to be, judicious with how much fuel it's burning in order to avoid burning the next time out. So again, if you get in the routine of depleting yourself, but not doing this every single weekend, you do want to get to the point where you can get through a run, but you do want to teach yourself to handle what it feels like to run out of glycogen in training, so that if it happens in the race, you're better prepared and you're better able to handle getting through those last few miles or few kilometers of the race. As I mentioned, doing this too often may compromise the quality of your workouts, so it's nearly impossible to run fast if you're out of gas, okay? So, but that being said, sometimes these depletion runs can help you improve your body's ability and provide that stimulus, especially when training for a marathon, to get to a point where you don't bonk in a race. You don't have, everybody, a lot of athletes around the world have hit the wall, and you in this myth of running marathons and hitting the wall. You don't have to hit a wall, but you do have to do some of those depletion runs and get to that state so that, again, you know what it feels like. And then, again, you improve your mental toughness and mental strength and being able to handle that if it occurs in the race. And, again, you want to minimize the idea and to minimize your experience of having to hit a wall or bonking in a race, okay? So definitely make sure that you're training sufficiently at and below goal race pace so that, again, you're getting your race pace to feel easier for you. You're improving your body's lactate tolerance, your ability to clear lactic acid more effectively, more efficiently as you race. And that will definitely help you out as well. Another big myth is trails are better for you because they're soft. Okay, trail running may keep you from getting injured, but it's not because trails are soft and cushioned. Okay, biomechanics have long known that surface hardness doesn't make much difference at all. Okay, so in layman's terms, that just kind of simply means most people unconsciously land a little softer when running on hard pavement and a little harder when running on, say, pine needle over covered trails that are soft. Trails are definitely still good. I've done a lot of training myself over the years on trails, but many runners experience repetitive stress injuries, especially which result from the same motion day in and day out without enough recovery on flat paved trails. Okay, so trail running requires constant dynamic movements and stride adjustments, so that variation may lessen the chance of repetitive stress injuries and may help middle distance runners to long distance runners develop strength and mobility. Okay, so that would definitely be one tip I'd share in regards to saying that trails are better for you because they're soft. That's a myth. A lot of running is bad for you. Okay, we've heard that a lot. James O'Keefe, he did a research study that has been covered extensively. It was in the New York Times. It's been in the Wall Street Journal. And this particular myth has also been debunked in the New Yorker, and Runner's World, and also Outside Magazine. And the science is basically saying that running a lot, say like 60 miles per week or more, is bad for you, in part because there's just so few people around the world that run that amount of mileage. So the best running, the best available running evidence out there suggests that high mileage running is an overwhelmingly healthy activity. Okay, it strengthens your heart, helps you to burn fat, helps you to lose weight, and that will definitely improve your overall mental and physical health. Okay, so running is not bad for you. Okay, and the last myth is running is fun. Okay, if you're running high mileage or if you're doing track sessions, running is not always fun. Okay, most of the time running is just too hard to be fun. Okay, especially of course if you're running relaxed and you're just jogging and you're out there for enjoyment, it can be fun at times. Okay, but finishing a good hard run feels great, of course, and cracking a couple beers, with your buddies afterward or whatever. That in itself is kind of fun. But there are a lot of runners out there, novice runners, elite runners, that really place a high amount of stress on themselves because, again, hard anaerobic training is not fun. There's nothing fun about there. It's not necessarily fun to go out there and do a 20-miler at under 6-minute mile pace, where depending on what level of athlete you are, maybe 20 miles at 11-minute mile pace is tough for you. Okay, but running in general, especially the faster you're trying to race and the faster you're trying to run, is not always fun. So that is definitely a myth. Okay, yes, and I'm not saying running can't be fun. Okay, there are times that running is fun and that can be a little bit more enjoyable, but running is not always fun. So that is my last myth. So those are the top 5 running myths that I wanted to personally debunk. What, in your opinion, in the comment section, let me know what are your thoughts about these particular myths, or what are other myths that you can think of about running that are a myth And what are your reasons behind that? I'd love to hear that. So if you're wanting to take your racing and training to the next level, definitely consider the resources below any of my videos or on RunDreamAchieve.com. Thank you so much to all of my new as well as old subscribers, the ones that have been there from 2019 to the present day. Or if you're brand new to this channel, thank you so much for your support, for sharing and liking these videos. I really appreciate that. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.